Hey, another day, another world-ending, stupid, surrounded by dickhead fucking world. Welcome to newspaper breakdown. It's all the same, innit? Just finished watching PMQs. Um, we need to fundamentally stop PMQs, don't we? Because it's pointless. If you're not going to answer a question, it's not Prime Minister's questions, it's Prime Minister's avoidance. And they fucking do that with tax anyway, don't they? Liz Truss, the only time Liz Truss was honest during Prime Minister's questions was when she said a couple of times, I am seriously unclear. And it went on to a question about Tosh. But that is the only point that she was honest. I am unclear. Yes, we are fully aware of that. We had there was a robot in the answering questions in the House of Lords. It was called ADAR, which was meant to be the most realistic robot artist, and that was it was shut down because it read typos. It had to be rebooted halfway through, and this was the robot showed more humanity than Liz Truss is seemingly ever able to do. Because now you've got just as I say, just watched Prime Minister's questions. Liz Truss, and this is all the fucking Tory party. They pretend that they weren't in power a few weeks ago. So they go, oh well, we're doing this. Yeah, but the reason you're doing anything is because you voted for everything when you were fucking. I mean, she wasn't even like a backbencher. She was foreign secretary, and she's acting like this. They don't even put on fucking like fake moustaches to hide from us. We know it's them. They're there. They don't answer any questions. She's got her whole fucking spending plan is like we're going to continue spending money. Fine. I think you should. Myself, I'm against austerity, and I think if you want to improve an economy, you have to put money into it. Money to accumulate, to grow, to give chances for actual growth, to put more money into the economy so more people have money, more people spend money. I'd look at the opposite of trickle down, I'd trickle up economics, because I think if you give people without money, they're going to spend it, which will go in to the economy. Whereas you give money to the rich, they'll save it because they believe they can take it over when they die or something. Obviously thinking that they need enough money to pay fucking what's his name, Karen or Sharon or whatever the fuck it is, go across the fucking River Styx. But yeah, a spending plan seemingly is right. We're going to carry on spending money, but we're not going to cut any tax, and we're not going to raise any taxes, and so we're going to get 60 billion in spending. From where? She says she's not going to make any. She said today she's not going to make any cuts in spending, but that's a lie. She's going to cut from government departments, which there isn't anything left to cut at this point. You're just going to have to eradicate for schools, from business, from Ministry of Justice, from everywhere, because there isn't anywhere. We just don't have anywhere to cut. That's what happens when you've got 12 years of austerity. Goes in, cut, got nothing left. I mean, you're there at that point with a fucking microscope and a fucking like the scalpel, trying to make cuts at that point using very fine lasers as an attempt to cut an amoeba in two. Getting to a point where we're trying to cut the fucking atom. That's all we've got left to cut at this point. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's quickly go over the news. Got the Guardian. As I say, I mean, I would do a right-wing paper, but I don't want to give them any money. I really don't want to give them any money. There's this idea that you have to read the Mail or the Sun or something to understand the other side. My argument to that is I've got Twitter. I see what their fucking side is. I don't need to give them money for the sake of it. Main stories, we've got power giants to face windfall tax after all as Trust delivers U-turn. Front page of the Guardian. Not incredibly accurate though, because it is just a cap on revenues for renewable energy firms. Because the argument is that energy companies are selling renewable energy for the same amount of money as they're selling oil and gas. However, renewable energy is much cheaper, which is why you should have fucking renewable energy. It's cheaper, we wouldn't be in this issue, the world wouldn't be ending. I mean, we could have fun with it. Everyone should have their own solar panel on their homes, a fucking personal wind turbine. They could paint it up, have fun with it, pretend you're fucking, I don't know. But all we're doing with this U-turn is they're going to tax energy firms for their renewable. So with all of the extra profits that they're getting from oil and gas, we're not touching. So this idea that it's a U-turn is horseshit. It's not a fucking U-turn. It's going to get 3 to 4 billion. That's what the suggestion is we're going to get from it. Whereas if you actually tax the billions and billions these energy companies are getting, then we wouldn't even be having this problem. They don't need it. You got fucking billionaire, massive fucking companies like Shell and whatnot saying tax us. We're here, tax us, take us some money. We got tons of it. We don't know what we're doing with it. At this point, they're like fucking dragons, just on top of this pile of gold, going, mate, this is uncomfortable, and I don't need it. I've got everything I need. We've got everything to run it. We already control the fucking world. We're destroying it as it goes along. Take some of our money. And our government, they're going, oh no, we wouldn't do something like that for you. There has to be. They must want jobs there. That can only be the reason, because there is nothing that I recall from the years of being alive where conservatives wouldn't have at this point gone, well, fucking, yeah, we'll get them. Even Thatcher did a windfall tax on businesses, and she was a mad cunt. What else have we got? US reviews Saudi links over OPEC oil cuts, which is the Biden administration said yesterday it is ready to consider tough new measures against Saudi Arabia over the latter's decision this week to side with Vladimir Putin and cut oil production. They won't. That's it. The US are going to do absolutely fuck all about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia were involved in, put it in the right way, some Saudis were involved in 9/11 and they didn't do anything fucking then. They're not going to do anything now. It's just not going to happen. You reckon? They're so fixated on oil and gas in America that changing their policy, changing their thought process on it all is where you'd have to start anyway. I mean, it's the difference between, say, America and us. Like, we would never have, you couldn't do a film like There Will Be Blood in the UK, because it's just not what we said. The only way you'd be able to do that if it was on the rise of Mr. Whippy, which is a film I'd want to see. UK There Will Be Blood, but on Mr. Whippy. UK designated China a threat, as well it should be. The subject of a serial podcast murder case has all charges dismissed. Released from prison, can still be retried. I'll have to read that later. And the Sun faces legal action of phone hacking. What interested me about the phone hacking, I remember at the Levinson Inquiry and everything else, is they're always looking at putting in more rules and regulations for papers or the Levinson laws that end up coming in. And my thought was very simple, that everything that they did, hacking phones and everything else, was illegal. It was already illegal. So I don't see a point in adding laws on top of laws. It's something that we do every 6 months for terror laws. We change terror laws to make it seem like we're doing more when there's already laws in place. Like, we've already got laws there. Those laws need to be fucking actually held. There's no point doubling up on laws. You know, say, oh, it's illegal to drive over 70 miles an hour. Now it's doubly illegal to drive over 70 miles an hour. No, you stop the fucking first one. That's... the Met Police are to stop recording the ethnicity of drivers who are stopped by officers, just as other police forces start doing it. Well, that's not going to be for a fucking good reason, is it? That's never going to be. We think you're being very racist. Well, there's no proof of that now, is there? Oh. We could go through the entire paper, but I'm not gonna, because it's just too long. And the final bit, the IMF has urged trusts to make U-turns on tax policies to calm financial markets. Remember that for the next time that the IMF saying that the mini budget will create growth comes out, which is what the government are currently using as their continued defence of their tax breaks for the rich. So, well, it's been something, isn't it? Don't know if this is any good or not. I think it is. I think it's fun. I think I can do it better. We shall learn.